Hello and welcome to week 9, also known as the week of crazy hair. Um, so it has been kind of a crazy couple of weeks, hasn't it? You probably saw my announcement that due to all these snow closures and whatnot and technical difficulties with the internet, the material for week 8 still going to be on the exam, so you'll still want to do all this, obviously. But the homework and the lab are extra credit for this week. And of course, if you aren't doing so great in this course, you should really consider doing that anyway. It will replace a homework or a lab. So whichever is better, this one or the other one. But in week 9, we are talking about deserts and glaciers, which are kind of two ends of a spectrum, right? Really cold, really dry. You can even get, it's kind of not exactly true because you can get snow and ice and desert-like conditions where you don't get much precipitation. But typically, they're two ends of a spectrum. And they are linked in a way within the Earth system, which hopefully you'll figure that out during our homework section here, through climate. And, it's interesting to think that where snow or ice is present on Earth actually determines where deserts appear on Earth. And that's essentially because ice and snow reflect sunlight and heat. And so they control which portions of the Earth absorb or re-emit heat. And so they affect the heat distribution of Earth, which affects the heating of water and air, which affects the currents of the water in the air, which affects how heat is transferred from the equator, where you get a lot of sun and a lot of that water and air gets warmed up. The currents of water and air affect how things are distributed across the globe. And so that's oftentimes why we now try not to use the term global warming. Instead, global climate change is more appropriate to the dilemma that we find ourselves in, is that the melting of these glaciers over here could cause a change in ocean or air currents, which would then perhaps cause this piece of land over here to get a lot less precipitation, California, and, create desert-like conditions. So they're all very interconnected in a very complex way. We aren't going to go into a lot of complexity, but you'll at least see some of those complexities this week. Yes, so don't forget that your field trip is due Monday of week 10. Hopefully, most of you haven't put off the field trip, but I guess I could understand why you put it off until now, and then the snow, and then still more snow. But it's getting to be a very short window now, and the due date for the field trip is Monday of week 10. However, I don't necessarily need it before Monday of finals week. The issue, of course, is that if you do that, you're just going to have to be an adult about your planning and make sure that it actually gets done, because this field trip is an essential part of your online course, because geology kind of needs that context of seeing it out there in the real world. And so if you end up putting it off until finals week, I'm going to be less interested in giving you an extension. In fact, I really can't beyond finals week. So if you do choose to wait until finals week, just know that it's on you to get it done. So the next thing to talk about is exam review stuff, because that final is coming up. And we've got practice test for you and quiz. These you can take as many as you want. And once again, we're offering this discussion forum for you to discuss any of these things with me or your fellow students. Nobody's really taken advantage of that yet, but hey, it's a final. Maybe it's a good time to do it. And then these will become they will no longer be available once you've already taken the final exam. So that is about all I've got for you for this week. Good luck.